Thomas, does tonight give you cause for concern, or has it cleared a few things up?
Yeah, for sure it hurts. It's painful always to lose, and to lose at home hurts a lot. I think we got punished for not a lot, for one counter-attack in the first half. Yeah, but we need these matches. We know it's a tough opponent. We had several players not available, so new formation again. We tried stuff, and we need to learn.
What's your assessment of that new formation, the false nine?
Well, it was only a false nine on one side. When we attacked on the other side, it was a normal nine. Well, we need these matches. We need to put it also into perspective. It's not the end of the world. It's never nice, and we don't like it. But yeah, it's not a question of false nine or normal nine. It's a matter of performing and making a statement and winning one-on-ones and being brave. And yeah, can do better, but. Yeah, it's a well-drilled team that we played against, and we had new formation, new players. So.
Yeah, is there an over-reliance, as tonight underlined, an over-reliance on Harry Kane?
Well, why would Argentina not rely on Messi or Portugal not rely on Cristiano Ronaldo? That's totally normal. I think key players left camp for us, like key figures left camp for us, and we saw that a bit. Yeah, we lacked a punch in last 20 meters, maybe in both matches. We encouraged the players. It was difficult for us. I think today in the first half we played way too narrow. We didn't want that, but we made the pitch ourselves way too narrow. The second half we had more width. We were more dynamic over the wings, using our fullbacks more, which we wanted to do the whole time. We took more risk, and then we had chances but couldn't convert.
How many of your 26 don't you know?
I don't know. I need to think and reflect, and then we will take decisions.
Is the fullback area one of consideration, the real consideration?
Fullback area in consideration?
In terms of your options there?
We have a lot of options, and we will arrive with good fullbacks.
And players have been auditioning as well over the last couple of matches. Do you sense in that maybe a little bit of the shirt weighing heavy?
No, I don't think so. I don't want to engage in this discussion because I think it's very clear what we want to do and how we want to play, and focus more on the principles and on the doing than on thinking what it means and whatever. No, it comes with pressure. It comes with noise. Playing for England, that's just how it is, and we need to see how the players adapt to that, and we can only see it if we try it. So we tried it. And we have to learn from it. We have 2 months' time now to get it out of our clothes. The players will play a lot of football in these 2 months, and then we will be ready.
78 days to go. Thank you.
Thank you.
It comes with pressure, it comes with noise. He's learnt quickly, hasn't he, what it's like to manage England.
And get questions from Gabe.
Yeah. I do not wish to engage in this discussion. I mean, the point is, how much has he learned? If he's learned plenty, then none of this is wasted, is it? That's the key.
That's the main thing, and like he made reference to the fact that there's players missing, you know, and which we all know what that's about. But I think that he made a good point when he said it's a false nine, number 9. It's about your particular performance, and that's what he said he was more disappointed with than anything else. We said about how narrow it was at the start. I think that we had Cole Palmer trying to attack in there, same with Phil Foden. So Anthony Gordon coming in there as well. So it kind of got a bit like congested, and it really needed to go out to the width. I thought that in the first half, there's a couple of crosses that I thought Ben White could have maybe put in some better crosses. On the left-hand side, we didn't really get too much going, and then when he did get one in O'Reilly, it was a beautiful cross at the back, but we didn't have the right player attacking it. So little things could have changed the game going in a different direction. But at the same time, I think that they could have scored 3 goals.
He's not going to say it, of course, but do you not think he's thinking, actually, it has proved that if Harry Kane isn't around, I do need a proper traditional number 9 for that focal point?
Possibly. He probably needs better performing players, regardless of if they're a number 9 or a false 9. But like you said, and I agree totally, that why shouldn't we rely on Harry Kane? And other nations rely on their best goal scorers and their top performers.
I think Argentina relied on Messi quite a lot.
Yeah, we should be no different. I'm sure France will rely on Mbappe. Yeah. But it's key for when them players aren't playing, the second string players step up and deliver. And that hasn't been the case tonight. And as you said, sometimes it's more important to learn what you need this far away from the tournament.
Absolutely. Sometimes you need to know what you don't want or you can't rely upon or what isn't going to work. We've just put together a team. I mean, it's a sort of composite team of what we think, if everybody's fit, the opening game against Croatia will look like. Now, Reece James is a big key there because he's got a hamstring injury, so we don't know. Nico O'Reilly at left-back, not quite such a good day as he had here 10 days ago. But if everybody is fit and everybody is firing and everybody is raring to go, that's still on paper looks a team that could give anybody a game.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think anyone's questioning any of them players, to be honest. And like you said, if they're all fit and healthy, the confidence will be there. So I wouldn't be nervous with that team playing every minute of the competition.
No. But I do love the Harry Maguire re-emergence simply because, you see even just coming on there, it's just 3 headers straight off the bat with some poor set pieces. But he came on and showed how much of a
Tuchel said he was 5th choice after the Uruguay game. Given his threat at set pieces, can we not knock him up once to 4th
I can't see how he's 5th choice with his experience and what he can bring. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was being a bit facetious there, but the fact is that he came on just like the game the other day, and he stands out. He stands out. He's passing from the back. He's attacking the ball in both boxes.
His experience. He's never let England down. He's played in all these big matches.
Yeah, and he's well averse to know his role in the squad. He'd be well respected. I'm a big fan, having worked with him and know how much it means to him to play for England and how coachable he is. So, yes, I think that comment was made because of the season rather than where he's at technically.
Very quickly, if you are Welbeck, Watkins, Calvert-Lewin, Solanke, it's still all to play for, isn't it?
Probably still have a go for it. You can never give up on it. It's too big a prize. The World Cup, you might be able to go. You've got to go for it.
Thank you very much indeed, gents.
Well, a special night personally, not the right result. Mark, how do you sum it up?
Obviously disappointing. We have to be realistic. But this is why we play these games towards this time of the season. We need these tests as a team. And I think if you have the right perspective, these games help us to build, to be better, to improve, and to go into the next stages, which is the World Cup, and, be ready.
What was missing, especially in the final third, do you think?
Obviously a goal. Like I said, we have to be critical of ourselves. But again, these are the tests that we need. It's important that we have these games to see where we're at. But like I said, it's all about perspective and making sure that we learn and stick together. The most important is sticking together. It's very easy to, I'd say, look at this one game, especially after the campaign that we've had. I think it's been a positive campaign, so it's important that we stick together, improve and get better.
No Harry Kane, of course. You have to find another plan. How did the false 9 formation work?
I'll be honest, I think it was the right idea, to be honest. I think it's always down to us. It's always down to us as players to try and find the gaps and try and find the way through. Unfortunately, we didn't do that today, but we actually had a lot of chances today from set pieces, and we created what we could. We just couldn't find the back of the net. But again, it's important that we stay positive, that everyone stays, behind one another and backs each other.
And of course, players have been auditioning to a degree, younger players. Was maybe there a little bit of anxiety that too keen to prove a point at times?
I wouldn't say so. I think, like I said, it's not easy putting the shot on. It's very difficult. You play against teams that are well drilled, qualify for the World Cup, who want to prove a point as well when they come here. But again, I'll reiterate and I'll keep saying it. It's important that we stick together, we learn from this moment and move forward.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.
Well, Mark, he said England needed the test, and it's a test they failed this evening. But Ian, let's start with congratulations to Japan. They've beaten Scotland 1-0 and England 1-0. That is 2 magnificent results, and they deserved it tonight, didn't they, Japan?
Yeah, they did. It was a kind of performance. It's like the one what we saw against Uruguay the other day, the kind of performance you might get in a tournament. That looked like one for me, but very ruthless. Very good defensively, attacking-wise. Again, they come back, they win the ball in these areas, and then once they get into this kind of area, they've got the pace. And obviously, you need people tracking back, but they've got the pace and they've got the ability to pick out that pass there. That's a brilliant pass. That'd be a great World Cup game for them, winning 1-0. And the chances they created, once again, we gave the ball away. Great run through the middle. Should never be able to get through that easily. But, in the end, he hits the bar with it. But
at the start of the second half, they did the same, Joe. There was a cohesion and a confidence and a swiftness about what they did.
Well, yeah, what comes with goals is confidence, and you can see that in their play in the second half. They made the game very wide and difficult for us as a nation to defend, and they had moments of brilliance from individuals and probably deserved to go another goal ahead. Nakamura, I thought, was outstanding all afternoon, all evening even, so this was unfortunate. But yeah, we can take a lot from that, from a learning curve perspective, and recognise what we need to do.
Yeah. I think when you look at that, what you see is, like, some of the decisions they made at the end there were just fractions out for them to score another couple of goals there. Just fractions. So, you know, it's like I said, like Mark rightly said, we need games like this. You know what I mean? It's one that he'll have to look at. No, the team will be different, but it was one you have to look deeply into because, you know, no Harry Kane, no focal point. We didn't look at all like we could lay a glove on them. We didn't look like that at all. And
in stark contrast to the way that the Japanese chances were created from open play, England's tended to be from set plays. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. A goal's a goal. And we talked before the game about how important set plays will be in the heat of the States. But nevertheless, it does say something about the lack of creativity in open play, the sorts of things England were relying on tonight.
Yeah, obviously when you're looking at that, but shots on goal came from set pieces and corners especially. And he said, I think Harry Maguire did his chances no harm in getting on the plane. His commitment, and we spoke about the quality of the crosses, but if you have someone with that willingness to get on the end of it and make first contacts, it's so important. So, yeah, I think we've got a long way to go.
This was the best chance of the lot.
Yeah, if we're relying on set pieces to win us the tournament, then it's going to be a long tournament for us. But as I said, we can take the game in perspective and recognise that sometimes when you lose this close to a tournament, it's a blessing in disguise.
After even that chance there right at the end with Morgan Rogers there, just leaning back, that's the kind of chance that, again, you get into a tournament, you want to make sure that you're hitting the target with that. So that's all I'd be thinking about if I was playing today, just the basics to make sure you do things right, because the worst thing you want here is a 1-1 draw. And you take a 1-1 draw and you say, well, that weren't great, but to lose to them, especially in the fashion we did, you know what I mean, I can't worry because it was too many changes. You know, I think Japan are a very, very good side. You know what I mean? Very underrated side. And I think they'll show that. And I think that we didn't have a vocal point. We didn't have a focal
point. So what's
the
answer? If Harry Kane doesn't play for whatever reason in the States, what is the answer?
But that's the problem. That's the problem.
I don't think anything was answered tonight.
No, it
whether
won't
it be
answer
a
tonight.
traditional number 9 or a false 9.
Well, I think that's the massive problem that we have. And I feel that's why he probably tried Phil Foden in that 9. I don't know, maybe if that's the case and he's going to go that way, then we might see Gordon in that. We might see Rashford up there. But whatever they're doing, we've got to make sure that we are able to pass out with pace and skill instead of going to the width all the time. We've got to be able to play into focal point, making movement off of people. You know, I don't think we pulled them around enough. I don't think we pulled enough. No.
We did attack very narrow, and I don't think that helped us and helped them, especially with a 3. If you make it wider, then it have to be individual 1v1 battles, or they have to go into a back 5, which then creates more space in the midfield. So, yeah, I think there's ways to learn from the setup in the formation.
Newcastle fullbacks did well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Gordon, Livramento, they probably got a boarding pass, haven't they?
Again, still early. And the only question mark for me over Tino would be fitness. I think he has the quality. I don't think anyone is doubting that. But, yeah, as you said, they did themselves no harm.
Yeah, I thought Hall, and even Rashford, I thought when he came on, he looked sharp. I think Hall as well looked pretty good as well when he came on.